Hi, this is Brian Wormers recording a lecture on Introduction to Family Theory. In this module, we're going to be talking about different definitions of family. We'll talk about some of the characteristics of what healthy families are. We'll talk about how caring for family involves family as context, family as some of its members, family as subsystems, and family as client. We'll talk about 3 family theories. We'll talk about the nursing process and how to integrate that into your nursing philosophy. And we'll talk about some of the components of a comprehensive family assessment. So to start with, realize that everybody's definition of family is different. Everybody in your class is different. Everybody that you meet is different. Everybody that you'll care for is different. You know, it's not the 2 kids, white picket fence, and a dog. And it looks less like this and more like this. Different ages, different colors, different groups, different ethnicities. Realizing that it could be mixed and blended families. And realize that they're held together and that there's great things about that. But realize that family is different for each and every one of us. And so we have to meet our clients and our families where they're at and be supportive with the definition of the terms on their level. So some characteristics of healthy families. Think about it in your own life. What is healthy for you in your family? What do you appreciate? What do you like? So Beavers and Hampson described a few different things. They said demonstrating a high degree of negotiation skills, so dealing with problems and working together. Clear, open, spontaneous expression of a wide range of feelings. Being able to talk about when you're sad or when you're happy or when you're excited or when you're anxious. And being able to openly talk and communicate about that. Being respectful of members' feelings. Both ways. So kids should be respectful of the parents, and parents should be respectful of the children. Encouraging autonomy of all of its members. I met some families in which they didn't want the kids to grow up. They didn't want them to go and strive and become, and in a way I felt that was kind of sad. Expect members to take personal responsibilities for their actions. I think that's healthy. And then demonstrating some closeness and warmth towards each other. Some strengths of families. Communication. Of course, communication is a big part of this. A shared family paradigm. This could be a lot of different things. I've known families that are big on outdoors and they share that as climbing. I've known some that share a paradigm of religion. I've known some that share a paradigm of volunteering. So think about what a family does and what they share. I mean, this could also be that they like cheering for the Packers or the Vikings or a team or rooting for something like that. But they've got some shared dynamics. There's intra-family support, so they support one another. They help each other out. They have some self-care abilities. They help each other out. They help each other out. They help themselves out. And then they have some problem-solving skills. They're able to help each other. They're able to work together as a family and get through some problems. So think about how family situations have changed. It's not growing up on the farm and you had the kids because that was free labor that could work on the farms and do those kind of things. Realize that this family is different than this family. Then it's different than this family. So you do have to realize that every family is different. Every dynamic is different. How they raise their kids are going to be different. And we have to meet them where they're at. Family nursing can mean a variety of different things. So having these different contexts of what a family is and who your patient is. Realize that you could care for the family as a whole. So the family as a client, so all of them together. You might have family as context, and this is what we often will see in pediatrics, is that you're caring for the child, but you also realize the impact that that family has on that child. You can do the family as a sum of its members, and so this could be like a family practice provider that sees all family members, and so you get to know each of them individually, and so that will help you care for all of them. And then family subset as a client. So we realize that, maybe mom and dad are in counseling or something like that, and realizing that that's a subset of that family. So this is some more definitions of that. But realize we've got different ways to look at that family and ways that we help and empower that family. Within this, there's some different terms I want you to know, and it's just kind of covering what we just talked about on that previous page. Sources of family theory. So there's lots of different ideas of what family is and what family does. There's structural functional, there's family developmental theory, and there's family stress. So a nice handout is right here, and feel free to use this. But it talks about structural functionalism here. And so it talks about the roles of a family, the values of family, the communication processes, and the power, who makes those decisions. And then what's the function of the family? How do they socialize? What's the reproductive function? What's the economic function? There's also developmental theory. So looking at different ages and stages. So when you're looking at your patients in the hospital, think about what stage that family as a whole is. Are they at the infant? Are they at the child? Are they at the older school-age child? Or are they at teenagers? Where are they at with this one? And realize that what their goal is during these times differ. So you can look at like beginning families and what their developmental tasks are, what their health concerns are, versus childbearing families versus infants and school age and all, etc., etc., etc. So family stress theory is another one here. And so family stress theory, Reuben Hill was one of the people that described this, but A plus B plus C equals X. So A is what's causing this. So it's hospitalization due to appendicitis. B, what's family strength? Maybe they've got lots of family, friends, support, church members that reach out to them. Maybe they've got good insurance, plenty of money, those kind of situations. What are their strengths and resources that they have available? See, what's their definition of this? Is this a serious event, or is this not a big deal? And every family's going to have a different opinion of this. I've definitely met families, especially those with special needs and chronic care, that I thought the kid was pretty sick, but yet they were almost too used to them being in the hospital, and they didn't think it was a big stressful thing. I've also met people that, their little world was crashing because their kid came in for tonsils, which is a pretty routine type of thing. So what's their definition of the seriousness of this? And that will play an impact on the total impact of this. So use this handout. This is kind of a good reference just to look at some of the theories about this. Family nursing process, it's the same thing. So we're talking about nursing, we're assessing, looking at nursing diagnosis, plan, implementation, evaluation, and repeat and repeat and repeat. But you got to think about the family as a whole and not just of the patient. So family integration model or intervention model. So think about the cognitive things. What's the education behind this? What's the thought process behind this? Then look at what's the emotional responses. How are you going to care for those? And how, are they lashing out? Are they frustrated? Are they sad? Or, all those different things. And then behavioral. Think about how they're going to interact and behave with each other and those outside of the family. So this is that Friedman that we talked about before, plus B plus C equals X. So think about this. A way that this is kind of described to me one time was, taking it out of the thing of a family, but even like as a personal thing. So a major league pitcher has got arm surgery. And so realize that your A is looking at what that stressor is. And that could be a big stressor to them, especially since their arm is a big portion of their livelihood, their life, their income. And so think about the resources that they have. Maybe they've got top tier trainers, maybe they've got great surgeons, some money, some friends, those type of situations. There's, the severity of this, if it's all those things riding on his arm or their arm, her arm, that could be a major thing. So all that together is going to be the impact that this will have on them. So, finally, here are some of the references. So if you're wondering where I got some of these things, feel free to look at this. But that's kind of an introduction to some of the family theories and the why behind what we do. So if you have questions on this, please contact me.